Hi guys! So this is kind of impromptu, but I really wanted to film a video, so I decided to do another book review. I've done a couple in the past, or just like book videos and stuff. So the book that I'm reviewing is Snow Like Ashes by Sara Raasch. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, but that's how I'm gonna say it until I know better. So yeah, I got this book for Christmas. I originally got it recommended through YouTubers on YouTube, booktubers. Um, I just was finishing the Ignite Me series or Shatter Me series, and I wanted another one to read, and so people recommended this one. And it's like a fantasy novel. So just to kind of go over it, it's a little confusing, and it honestly still kind of confuses where everything is, even though they have a map at the very front of the book, kind of showed all the different kingdoms. Um, they have like a map, and probably should have paid more attention to it, but I really didn't. So yeah. So what it is Mira's the main character, and she's a orphan girl who grew up living in the I guess kind of like outer regions of the Winter Kingdom. So there's 4 season kingdoms and then 4 rhythm kingdoms, and this one focuses on the season kingdoms, this book at least. And so King Winter was overthrown by Spring 16 years before, where they were like attacked by Spring, and the Queen Hannah died, who was Mather's mother. And so Mather's kind of like is going to be the king of Winter, but there's not really Winter anymore. There's only about 7 people still living in the outer regions of Winter, and then the rest have been taken into either killed or taken into camps that Spring owns. So kind of like smaller, it seems like camps where they made them work and stuff in unpleasant conditions. And you find out later through the novel that what they're trying to do is they're trying to get this locket back from Spring, because Spring broke it in 2 halves, and each kingdom has like an object that gave the kingdom or the king magic, and or the ruler, I guess, magic. And Winter, it was a locket. So there are 2 locket halves, and Mira really wants to go on this journey to find it, and she ends up putting herself in danger, but still getting one of the locket halves back. And the other locket half, they realize, is on the ruler of Spring. Not remembering his name, but the ruler of Spring has the other locket half on him. And so the book is kind of about them trying to, outrun Spring, and Mira kind of figuring out. She was a baby when this happened, and she doesn't know who her parents are, and she kind of like starts having these like dreams and stuff about what happened the night of Winter's big fight with Spring and stuff. And her relationship with Mather is that they obviously do like each other, but since he's the king, he still can't really be with her, because they're expected to obviously marry rich and stuff, or marry someone, and even though they're not really a kingdom right now, they are definitely hoping that they will be, because they're both only 16 or 17. And then the guy who's like in charge of this like band of misfits, his name is Sir, and he's kind of like just like almost like the father figure, but he's also like their, mentor and stuff in terms of soldiering. And Mira really wants to be more of a soldier versus like a lady. Although again, that's really hard since you're again a band of misfits in the outskirts of Winter. I really like the novel overall. Comparing it from what I read with the Shatter Me series, Shatter Me was very much focused more on dialogue, and I guess in a sense, the way that Juliet in Shatter Me spoke was how it was written, I guess, because it was very like childlike, teenager-like, someone who's kept away for a while, and that's how it was written, which, to be honest, I grew to love. But this one is very detail-oriented. I really like that. It's definitely good, nice contrast with what I just previously read, and to get back into things. So it's definitely a really well-written novel, and it's definitely one of the more, like, as they say, like, showing, not telling. It's very, like, she gets right into the depth of where they are and what this looks like, and it's just very detail oriented, which I really enjoyed. This is the first novel I ever read from Sara Raasch. I'm not even sure if it's her debut novel, but it's really good. Mira is a strong female character, which is the books that I'm really hoping to read lately. So I really like that she's, more focused on being a soldier versus a lady when that has to come into play. And even though there's tiny bit of love interest slash, maybe a love triangle coming about. It wasn't too in your face. It wasn't like thrown in your face like I feel like Shatter Me was. Which again, that was probably like a good half of that novel, and this one wasn't so focused on that, which again is nice to see in a young adult novel, or a new adult novel. This is probably more young adult. But it was really good to see, and ended in a way that it's going to be a series, but it left it open in the sense that what's going to happen, what happened at the end of this book might come back, not the next one, but the next one, Like, it's not like it's going to be like, okay, the bad villain that was in this book, you know, is he going to come back into the second one? Maybe not, maybe the third one. It looks like the second one's more focusing on finding the magic and seeing if they can access the magic, because the magic kind of was in a mine in winter, and then when winter was overthrown, the mine like closed up or something. So there's no more access to the magic that they already have with the object. So like if Spring's object is like what's a staff? Like the big like pole that people use, a staff. Um like that's their one area for magic that ruler has. And I think Autumn's is, I'm not sure what Autumn's is. I think it's like, say it was a crown or whatever. I don't think it was. Um, that was where all their magic came from. Versus, I think the mine, it can like open up to having an easier access to magic. I'm still confused about where the magic is coming from and how to access it through the mine, but that looks like that is what it looks like where the second novel is heading out to. So I'm excited to read the second novel. I'm gonna be purchasing that after I finish all the books that I'm currently to be reading this month. But overall, I gave the book a 4 to 5 in Goodreads because it was really entertaining and it was a nice, good read. It wasn't a quick read. It probably took me about a week to read it just because it was so detailed, and I wasn't typically like in the mood to read it at the very beginning. I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 because I was still pretty confused towards half the novel of where everything lie in the universe. Although probably I should have looked at the map, but I don't really use those maps at the very beginning. So overall, I think it's a really good book, and I definitely would recommend it to people who are looking for a more fantasy novel that's not totally focused on love triangleness like Shatter Me is, and that one that's like much better written, I would say. It's more up my alley in terms of um, plot and like it's just well written in a sense. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye.